I'm Woody Jones, and I make automata, which is actually mechanically powered sculptures. They are the early forms of robotics. If you think about the mills and things that you'll see, the big clocks in Europe where the guy comes out and rings a bell, that's what is automata. It's early clockwork mechanisms. I call these things mechanical amusements because they're supposed to make you laugh. I make each scene to order, and I make the people in your scene look like you and tell your story. And the way I tell a story is like right here. This is a scene I did for Benson Ford, showing the Ford Motor assembly line. Here's one we did for the Braves and the Yankees when they were playing at one time. This is a scene we did for City of San Francisco and Sausalito. It takes me about 10 minutes to cut one of these gears, and it takes me probably a half an hour to get it sanded just perfectly so it's working smoothly with the other gears. The first day of school, they told me they were only sure of two things. One, that anything that was important was written down, so they teach me how to look it up. And the second thing is the square wheel wouldn't work. Well, I thought that sounded like a challenge to me, so I use the square wheel as my basic mechanism. The square wheels in here, you'll see this square causes those wheels to move up and down. This particular scene took probably like 100 hours to make. This was a scene we did when I had to do an angel theme scene, and I thought, well, I'll tell one of my best stories, which is when I get to the pearly gates, who can I count on to only say good things about me? My dog's going to say, I bought him Alpo, I took him for long walks, I even bought him a girlfriend. So man's best friend vouches for him. That's what this scene's about.
Hi, I'm Michael Brown. My fourth time here at the Coconut Grove Art Festival. The pictures I have here are called optical art. They're either three-dimensional or kinetic, and by kinetic I mean they change as the viewer moves. So I have some pictures that go from summer to winter as the viewer walks by, some that go from day to night as the viewer walks by. This piece in particular is called Reading. It consists of 200 digital photographs, and when the viewer stands right in front of it, they see the picture in 3 dimensions. And then as they move across it, they'll actually see the picture of the woman turning the page of the book. The process is known as lenticular, and the way this works is there's a ribbed lens over each piece. The ribs are 1/30 of an inch wide, and are each 1/30 of an inch. In that case, there are 200 stripes. So the effect is it refracts the frames out at a 45-degree angle, and as the viewer moves, they'll see it both animated and in 3-dimensional. I have 3-dimensional pictures that you can stand right in front of and see in 3D without wearing any glasses. And then of course I have some pictures that combine both the animated technique and the 3-dimensional technique.
I'm Scott Campbell. This is my blown glass. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and mainly I'm known for the sandblasted or etched surface on the outside surface of the glass. So I'm blowing the pieces, mixing several colors together, and then after it comes out of the oven, I'm etching the surface to kind of emphasize the form and bring the color out. I went to school at Southern Illinois University and studied glass blowing, and then studied a little bit in Murano, Italy also. And then I went to go work at a large production studio in Kansas and managed it for about 5 years before I broke off and did my own thing and opened my own studio. So for the last 6 years, I've ran my own studio, part-time in Georgia and now in Denver, Colorado. And I come down here every year. It's my 5th year displaying here at the Coconut Grove Art Festival. This festival particularly is good just because it draws a very big crowd, and in particular for glass. They got a lot of glass collectors in the South Florida area, so I come back here every year. And of course, we love the weather down here.
Make sure to keep it locked. We've got plenty more Coconut Grove Arts Festival coming up right after this.